Welcome back to Lemon Lane Cottage. Today is a full garden tour, and as we enter into May, you'll notice taking front and center stage are the roses. They are absolutely beautiful right now. I think May and early June are probably the prettiest times in a Southern California garden, at least in my Southern California garden. I'm really excited to show everything to you. You will hear me say a lot that I need to get stuff done in the side yard, and it is true. I have kind of neglected it as I've been working on the shade garden. So this month will be all about getting this side garden that I started a couple of years ago into shape, filling it out, getting it mulched, making it look nice, and dealing with the massive amount of weeds. We are also this month going to tackle our tropical garden, so my husband and I will be shopping for plants for that soon. I did happen to stop at the nursery for one tomatillo plant this morning and came home with a few other things that I'll share with you, the whole plant haul, a little later in the week. Today though is all about looking at the garden as a whole, making notes of what I need to work on in May, what needs to get planted, what needs some attention, what needs to be trimmed, what needs to be harvested, all of those things. So enough of the chit chat. Thank you again for joining me. Thank you so much for subscribing. I do appreciate everyone who takes the time to come back and leave a comment each week. So that's it for the chit chat. Let's go ahead and get this garden tour started. As always, thanks for stopping by. I cannot believe it is May already. Welcome back to Lemon Lane Cottage. Today I'm going to give you a complete tour of the cottage gardens. I'm not going to go into individual flower names because I will do that throughout the month. I just wanted you to take in an overall look of what the garden looks like here the 1st of May 2021. And then you can compare it to how it looked in April and then how it will again look in June. So pour yourself some hot coffee, some hot tea, or something cool to drink, and let's get this tour started. The succulent garden is doing very well. Unfortunately, the suckers from the crepe myrtle are doing even better. This is on my to-do list for May. These pretty green leaves with the red tips are actually a nuisance. They are a sprout from the crepe myrtles. It's something I have to keep on top of. It is my nemesis in this succulent garden. But other than those, the succulents seem to be doing fine through it all. I need to fill in some of those bare areas with plants, and then it needs a good mulching. That is also on my list for May. Another thing on my list for May is to make up some aloe vera gel from this gorgeous plant. This clump of white Shasta daisies is just about ready to explode. It will need to be thinned out at the end of this year, but for now I'm just going to enjoy those beautiful white blossoms. I'm noticing a theme on this side yard, and I will link the video that shows when I put this side yard together in 2020, I believe. I've started weeding. The jasmine is not looking so wonderful, so I've got to get that mulched. The Japanese maple, however, looks gorgeous. I think this is going to be the month of the side yard garden, that's for sure. You can see this part here, I have not weeded at all. This goes into the area that we want to put our tropical garden in, which I talked about in my 3 perennial plant shade garden video, I believe. This is another project for this month, but this is actually a fun project. It's buying plants and adding plants. I will link the shade garden video so you can see what we have in mind. For now, it's just a patch of weeds. Before we head into the shade garden, I'm going to take you back up the other side of the walk we just came down. We have a couple of citrus trees. This lemon tree, I had tons of blossoms, but I had a lot of fruit fall off, and I have that struggle with the lemon tree every year. The orange tree, however, has quite a bit of fruit that I think will actually produce for me. Along the pathway, mixed in with the weeds, are Shasta daisies. This is new, just put it in a couple of months ago. I'm not sure if I'll get blooms. I hope to get them. I have hardy geranium in here as well. The Mediterranean garden looks great. The lavender is still blooming. I've cut a few rounds of it. I need to get in here and cut some more. The lavender has been loving the dry heat that we've had, so it is doing fantastic. And our glorious maple tree is finally leafing out. We'll just take a quick peek at the shade garden. We have been in here quite a bit in April, Everything looks really good. I'm very pleased with how everything transplanted, the way it's coming together. Now we just have to be patient while it all fills in. Things are really coming to life in the vegetable garden, my little homestead here. I'm actually pulling out a lot of the spring cool season crops, such as the snap peas. Most of the lettuces and the radishes have come out. But things like the lime tree, the borage, the tomato plants, those are all just coming into their own. I love the flowers on this calendula. I believe it's a strawberry, but it has really struggled with powdery mildew. I don't know if our seasons have been cooler. I don't know if our temps have been cooler or what, but I have struggled with powdery mildew on it, and I do not know that I would grow that variety again, which is a shame because I really love it. Maybe if I grow it by itself where it's not kind of socked in, you know how I tend to overplant, maybe I'll try a plant just one all by itself. As you can see, this tomato plant is going crazy. I believe this is the early girl. This is the early girl, and it is early. This Roma has also put off a lot of fruit as well. Can you believe it's almost tomato season? At least here in Zone 10 it is. Cucumbers look good. This is my bush beans. Tomatillo, and I've just learned that tomatillos like a second plant, so that's actually what I went to the nursery for today. But that turned into a whole plant haul that I will share with you later. As you saw, the broccoli has finally started to put off food for me, and I'll clip that main one and hopefully get some side shoots, at least for the next month or so. Peach tree is loaded with fruit, which is exciting, or will be come July. So that is the homestead area for May. I'll be sharing more details, what I'm planting, what's doing well, what's not doing well, all of those things in separate videos throughout the month of May. As we move back towards the main perennial beds, the patch of agapanthus we planted is doing well, and all of the crepe myrtles have gotten their leaves. The perennial bed really comes into its own in May. in early June, if we're lucky all the way through June, but mostly May. May I can count on the first flush of roses. The snapdragons are still going strong. The perennials have started to bloom, the bachelor's buttons and the salvias. It's just this riot of beautiful, fresh color. And I look forward to it every year. In fact, it is one of the things that keeps me gardening, knowing that all of the pruning and weeding and amending and fidgeting and rearranging flowers is going to result in just this glorious show in May. Sure, some things are starting to fade. The columbine has seen better days, the poppies are getting a little bit tired, and the nasturtium will soon be gone. But there is so much more that is just getting started, and I can't wait for you guys to see it this month, next month, even into July. Let's just take a minute and enjoy all the beauty that is the perennial bed in May.
I've been thinking of how to leave you, just to leave you first. To deceive you, to make you leave me first. My experience tells me that it is only a matter of time.
On this side of the perennial bed, everything is just as beautiful as the other side. I don't know the names of all of my roses, but I do know the David Austins, and this one is a Tamara. And yet, and yes, this dill has got to come down, and I will get to that hopefully this month. As you can see, the irises have definitely started to wane, but the clematis is just getting started. So you have to accept as one fades, another comes in. I always let the parsley and the cilantro go to seed because the flowers are so pretty, and I know that means I'm going to have parsley everywhere in the garden next year. Of course, as we enter into the potager, the strawberries are just coming on. The nasturtium will start to fade. I still haven't gotten any artichokes, and the tomatoes are just beginning. One of my very favorite things at this time of the year is my wildflower garden. It's not a field, it's not a meadow, it's just my little patch of seeds that I throw every year. In the spring, it's bachelor's buttons and poppies and mums and all kinds of delicate little things. As we move into summer, the zinnias and cosmos and dahlias will pop up. I just love it. I did take the time to prune the grapevine, and I will keep on it this year. Last year I ignored it and the grapes were totally lost to mildew. I will not let that happen again. And the herb garden is filling in beautifully. And this little start tomato plant that I purchased at Lowe's is going like gangbusters. It gives us fresh tomatoes every single day. So that is the full garden tour this 1st of May. I will be breaking down each section for you as I always do. Thank you once again for all of your wonderful comments. I'd love to know from you. In May, what is your favorite part of your garden? Mine, I think, has to be the wildflowers. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you do that. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.